the 1969-70 Chandler St. Baptist Church. We're going through our exercises that gave them a lot of dexterity. This was the object of it. And a little bit of running to get them legs going and churning it up, get that blood pressure moving. And also it worked real well. This is a good bunch of athletes. And it shows more and more that they could really had a lot of stamina. And that was what this was all about. Now they've gone around about 6-7 times, and well, let's get a little smaller the circle. This is it. Oh my gosh! Well, they've been in school all day. They're tired, but they're up and at 'em right away. And I'll introduce this team as much as I can. We had quite a few. Now we're going through a drill with the basketball, learning how to catch and pass. And they seem to be having a little difficulties here. They keep missing that ball. Kinlan did a sharp move, but they don't hang on to the ball too well. Steve Sonneson there, Bobby Peterson, Terry Huff, Gary Lindblad, Todd Hall, and other kids that played for us during the year were Brad Johnson and both Lindblad boys, Rob and Gary, and Kevin Smith and Jimmy Johnson. Now here we bring this ball in so that they learn how to. They were having a tough time with that smaller ball, so we tried them with this bigger one. You can see it worked out better. Now there's Terry Huff acting like Charles Atlas was the world on his shoulders. He does get a little help though. That's Steve Sonneson holding it there, and Todd Hall, Bobby Peterson. Randy's in the background. And this tended to help them handle a ball that they could catch. Now, see how much better they are? Smooth. Very, very good. Oh, that one got away, but that was thrown a little too hard, I think. And there's Jimmy Johnson weighing on the end there. And Bobby Peterson up front, Todd Hall, that's Gary Lindblad. Now here they're introducing the 1969-70 Chandler St. Baptist, and I think that's supposed to be, it's a misspelling there, it should be a C for church, but somebody got mixed up. I don't know who team, and here they come. And Bobby Peterson broke the paper but fell down, had to be helped up. And there's our general manager, Reverend Steve Sonneson. We called him Red for Red Auerbach of the Boston Celtic. And now this is the Rinky Dinks, who are our mop-up team. They were the younger boys and smaller boys, and we're putting them through the paces here too. And the cheerleaders are patiently holding the entry for them, and here they come. And they can't get through there. Well, they aren't too big, and that is paper. I mean, it's pretty stiff craft paper, I guess. Our assistant coach, Jimmy Truex, opens it up for them, and there they are. And that's a gang that makes any team. The guys that can come in and do the job. And here's our cheerleaders. There's Michelle Dill, Jackie Dill, Becky, and Joni Lindblad, and Sarah Sonneson, and I don't know the other girl there. And here they're going through some of their cheers, and it's the choreography for this group was done by Gladys, and you can see what a good job it is. These kids are really in sync. And here comes Greg. Used to come up and play for us on Saturdays in college, and that was '69, and Make Love Not War, and that happens to be the Dahlgren girl. And Greg puts his plaque away that he was carrying, and there's his glasses on the ball and his shades. And we taught aggressive play, but that was a little bit too much. And here they're working on the boards. Terry and Bobby Peterson, they were our board men, and they could handle it. And now here we're going to a game. Now this is this Holy Trinity, and he made it in there all right that time, but not there. We get our share of rebounds, and that's what helped us make us a winner. And here's Steve Kinlan going in for a layup. Look at that. And we insisted these kids play ball no matter what their injuries were. And Terry Huff, well, he didn't get a chance to really learn how to handle his crutches, but he played. And here's Steve Kinlan, who had a diabetic condition. We always had to have candy and some orange slices on the bench. And sometimes we didn't get it to him quick enough, and we had to medicate him. And he'd get right back in the game. And here's our prayer. And when we pray, we don't pray for victory. We pray that we do our best and to be with all the players. And sometimes, I guess the prayer got a little long because you can see Todd there. He just fell asleep. It was more than what he could handle. And Bobby, very aggressive again here on the boards, knocking that man into the wall. And the referee is calling him on it. And Bobby is, no, not me. It wasn't I didn't. Well, here he goes. He's thrown off the court. That foul hurt us. But that's the way we learn. And look at an interception, and Holy Trinity's in with a basket. And here's our score table. Now, Reverend Sonderson was our assistant scorekeeper. Becky was the official one. And she really managed to have everybody confused. But it helped us. And there's Stuart Sonderson. And now here, it's a foul is against us 1-on-1, and she's kind of scared to, the referee says, let me know what it is, 1-on-1. And there's a coaching staff. And I don't get excited very often, but I happen to a little bit there. But we won that one. And our cheering section, Gladys and Gloria, Bob Lindbad, Pastor Sonderson, Stuart, and all the girls. And here's Stuart. We gave him, he had a jersey. He was kind of our mascot. And I guess this game kind of bored him. We won it pretty easily, I guess, and didn't keep his attention. And there's the bench. The guys who were ready to go in at a moment's notice and do a job. They were the gut check of our ball club. And here we won the game, and I go out to congratulate the boys, and, well, they grab Jimmy instead and take him off. Well, that's the life of a coach. And my job was to clean up afterwards, kind of do a little janitorial work and get the equipment off the floor. And what are you going to do? And there's our team picture. There's Jimmy, Todd, Steve Kinlan, Greg, Randy Huff, or Terry Huff rather, Bob Peterson, Randy, Steve Sonderson. A good group of players. And there's one of the men that took, Bob Lindblad, who was our producer that night. And there's Kathy Dahlgren and the cheerleaders. And there's a young man from Holy Trinity Church, very cooperative young man. And we're still carrying stuff off the floor. Now Steve Kinlan's being, he just kind of was the man of the team that the girls like so well, and I think he's giving autographs there and a bit of advice. And of course he's also got the floodlight. And there I'm putting away the chairs and a few other duties that I had. Steve Kinlan comes over and says, good work, coach. Now he didn't mean about the game, he meant good work cleaning up the Y. Well, the girls helped me out. And there's my assistant coach. Steve gets in the act too, huh? Cooperation. He was our high scorer and a very important part of the team. He wanted to keep his position on there, so a little buttering up with the coach. And here's the big ball that the girls are having a little fun with. Now this team, we won a lot of games that year. We didn't win our division, which we'd won I think 4 out of 5. We'd won a division. One year we won the whole city championship. And this year here, this team beat CMA, Gustavus Adolphus Home, Stillwater UB Church, First Congregational, Faulkner Methodist, First Covenant, Kidder Memorial, Brooklyn Heights, and St. Luke's. So we had a good year. Now she was better on those crutches than what Terry Huff was. And Kathy, and she was home from college for that weekend by coincidence. And I really don't know what those boards were. I kind of forget. It's part of our staging, I guess, that we used. And this was quite a production. told the message of what you shared. There's Barbara Bateman and her mother. There's Sam, Betty Dill. Looks like Danny Sutphin, Tessie Erickson. That's that Reverend Smith, I guess. And there's Al Lindbergh and Harry Stone. And I don't know if that's Harry Stone's daughter or not. And we're leaving the church. And there's Reverend Sonderson. He was the instrumental man in pushing forward the move. There's Don Dog, Margaret Magnuson, Ed Peterson, Sig Hager, Dick Johnson's dad. There's Uncle Stain. And, oh my golly, there's Henrietta Johnson. And there's Dr. Bill Blaisdell. And May Baxter and Neil Baxter. And there's Marilyn Erickson. And there's Virginia Blaisdell. And they're coming faster than I can name them all. That look like Kathy Malquist. And there's our choir director, Mrs. Chingren, Matt Peterson. And there was Uncle John. And there's Dick Johnson and Burnell. And Bob Keith, Al Nilsson, Johnny Arts, Randy. That's our Randy. Dave Simmons, and there's a Marine, and Lindbergh, Walt Erickson, Jimmy Lawson, and here's the police that's going to escort us up to the new church. We're all lined up, ready to go. And I think Roy Peterson arranged for this escort. And away we go. Quite an impressive thing. We're passing the Unitarian Church right there. And it was a string of cars. The police wouldn't be able to do this today. But we had influence too. There's Nay and crutches. And here is Rag's mother, who was our oldest living member of the church at the time. There's Lindsay. And there's Dan and Marilyn. And there's Larry. And there's Etty. And Walt. And Phil. And Don Oakes is carrying apparently the cornerstone. Or the contents that's going to go in there. And there's Barbara Bateman. And Donnie Holm. Anna Johnson, and there's Dick Johnson and the Marine. I don't know who the Marine was. There's John Oberg, Ella Chingren, and there's one of the Simmons boys' wives, and Gordon Marker, Sam, Jimmy Lawson again. There's Joanne Dahlgren and her mother. And there is Don Berger and Dill. And there's Dan, Helen, Roy Peterson, Patty Peterson, Gordon Marker, Bert Holm, Tim Johnson, and Dave Peterson. And now they're doing the ceremonies. And there's Anna. And there's Victor Berquist. And all the kids, Carl Winterstrom. Bert Holm and Donnie. And there's a lot of the young people. Jerry Loomis. And Reverend Papoon. Giving a prayer. There's our contractor. Dick Johnson. A shovel full of dirt. Never Stan Lundeen, our mayor at the time. And he gets in there and gets a shovel full of dirt. And our contractor and John Sonderson giving us a few words of encouragement for the project. And he does a one-handed job. There, now he's digging in. There's a good shovel. Don Oaks. Dirt. Good move, Anna. And now they're interviewing. And there's a couple of youngsters I can't identify. And there's Dick Olson in the background, Victor Berquist, Steve Sonderson. There's Tim Johnson, Paul Johnson, Gould, and Reverend Smith, I believe his name was, leading us in prayer. Here we're breaking away. Ceremony's all over with. I see Everett Marker, Ed Peterson, the Farleys, and Matt Peterson again. And there's quite a group right there. The men mainly responsible for the church. There's Faith Oaks. Church. And September 6th of 1970. And again, we've got a big turnout. And I'll try to identify the people I can. I can see Victor Berquist, Donnie Holm. Looks like Henrietta. There's Bert Holm, Dick Johnson, Walt Erickson. I believe Dick Johnson, Burnell. I think that might be Anna. And there's Pastor Sonderson with the microphone. Don Oaks, Anna Johnson, Betty Dill. I don't know if that's Jerry Loomis, I guess. Sidney Johnson, I think. I can see Steve Sonderson. Nilsson. And there's Ivor Norgren. And Uncle Stain and Aunt Lily. Carl Winterstrom. Margaret Hager. Could it be Onley? Sig behind her. Roy Peterson. Dave Erickson. Mary. Dave Simmons. And Linda, his wife. And the youngsters I don't know. Another big day in the history of the church. No question about that. And there was Mrs. Cordenmarker. And Anna Johnson is saying a few words. And there's Sidney Johnson, Jerry Loomis. And Sidney's speaking now. Rags Carlson. Looks like that's Grace or Elaine Dahlgren. A lot of stuff went in that cornerstone that somebody will have a lot of joy out of reading. There's Aunt Lily again and Uncle Stain. Floyd Simmons. Henrietta. Matt Peterson. Bye home. And he's explaining what he's putting in there. Apparently that looks like a New Testament. And there's our contractor and Dick, and there is Zetterwall and his wife, Howard Zetterwall. And I think we are laying everything out in good shape, and it's not really a large box. but there's a lot of things in the history of the church in 1970. In the history of the church in 1970. There's last Sunday at Chandler Street Church. There's Betty Johnson, John Johnson, Dick Johnson, Carl Winterstrom. It looked like Dave Erickson. There's Lloyd, and that was Kathy, and Grace. There's Greg, and they're filing out one at a time. You ought to be able to get more of them. There is, oh my gosh, I can't. This is the trouble. I can't identify everybody. A lot of youngsters here. There's Mae Baxter. There's our daughter Becky, I think. John Yarts. And I don't know. There was Randy Erickson.
Exactly.
And somebody carrying a kid there. Now I remember that guy, but I don't remember his name. That was Mae Baxter, Debbie Baxter. And there is Henrietta, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Faith Oakes.
And Esther Brodeen, one of the old members of the church.
And Tim Johnson, or Paul Johnson, rather. And Vi Loomis.
Vi Loomis, yeah, and Jerry.
Jerry. And
Joanne Huff and Evie.
Yeah, and Evie. My gosh, yeah. Well, this is kind of a sad day in a way for a lot of people, and for us, for me too, because I got married in that church. All the kids were baptized in that church, and it was our last service there. It was a piece of history. Don Oakes holding the door open for the people, and there's
Haight,
yeah,
Fred Haight, and Marilyn Erickson.
Yeah, and there's Bill Huff. And Linda.
Eleanor Marker.
Right.
Anderson.
And Paula Huff. Bill Huff again now. There is Connie, was it? Conrad.
And Ivan and Nettie Norgren. And Lynn Blatt.
Yeah.
Kay Lindblad and
Dick Johnson and Burnell again.
And that's Hall Girl and her children.
Don Van Stevie. You had our boy Don. And
Al Lindbergh's mother.
Al Lindbergh's mother. Very good. And there's Sydney. And Don Oakes.
There's Bob Gould.
Yeah. Donnie Holm. And Marion Oberg. And I can't think of his name. The mute. Who that is there? Christmas decorations.
That's Michelle Darrell.
There's Gladys.